Hi guys. I received an interesting email yesterday. It was from somebody I don't know. And to make a really long story short, she had picked up my book at the library, my latest book. I'll show you this one, and The Devil Will Laugh. It's my favorite. I have to show it to you. Anyway, she had picked it up, started to read it, got more than halfway through and decided she wasn't going to finish it, felt compelled to tell me, and apparently had to do a lot with the graphic content and violence and that sort of criminal aspect. I think she was expecting the criminals in my books to actually pay for what they did. It's crazy. Not going to happen. Anyway, yeah, so that's not important. That's just sort of to let you know how I came to the point where I decided to record this video talking about today's topic. And today's topic is the fairy tale ending. What's with my hair? Fairy tale ending. So, a fairy tale ending does not necessarily mean, the glass slipper, white horse, Cinderella bullshit. A fairy tale ending to me is any book that always ends with the good guy, it's always the protagonist, winning. And the bad guy, whoever the hell that is, always losing and getting what they deserve, whatever that is. So they die, go to hell, go to prison, I don't know, whatever you think the bad guy deserves. Or if it's a girl-guy thing or dating thing, the person dumps them, whatever. I don't know. So to me, that to a certain degree is also the fairy tale ending. It's a different kind of fairy tale ending, but it's a very, I guess, idealistic sort of ending. And what people would call a happy ending. So, do books need a happy ending? Do they? Do they need that kind of ending where the good guy wins, bad guy loses? Do they need that? Is that necessary? Does everybody like that? Well, I know everybody doesn't like, because I don't. I kind of find it boring. And a lot of my readers, I think, don't necessarily like that because, and maybe not, maybe they do sometimes, but they don't always like that. And the reason why is because it's not realistic. Look at the world around us. We all have been in situations or know of situations or see situations in the news where good guy doesn't win. It's not, and it's never in, even that I feel weird saying because it's not usually that cut and dry. Not everybody that does something bad is a terrible person overall. It could be a person who's always great and then something happened and they did something bad. Whether that is something criminal or just not nice. It's life, right? We are more complex than that. Life's more complex than that. So for me to write the good guy, bad guy, happy ever after ending feels a little weird because it feels very simplified to me. And I don't think life's that simple. And I don't think it's that cut and dry. So for me to do a book where, like back to my I don't know, fanemy. I don't know what you'd call a person who's not a fan but took the time to write to you to tell you they're not a fan, but anyways, whatever. That's a weird situation. My fanemy told me, is that basically she preferred these other kind of books by an author who I believe always does sort of that good guy wins in the ending. And I don't know. I get why people like that, especially in a time like this where it kind of seems like that doesn't happen very often. But do we always want to see that? Do we feel that that's realistic? Do we prefer it not be realistic in the ending, or more likely, or we like something to kind of ponder, something to chew on? Like you finish a book and you're kind of like, I don't know how I feel about that ending. And then that gets you thinking, and that thinking might make you kind of expand your ideas a little bit. And I think that's what I like. I like reading books that kind of make me stop and think. And when I'm writing books, that's also important. And I like to think that my readers like that too, to kind of step back and say, wait a minute, I don't know how I feel about that. And just sort of ponder it. So that's just me. That's what I like. I'm not into giving people a nice, warm, cozy bath at the end of their book. I'm into kind of leaving them with some questions and sometimes maybe a little discomfort. Does that seem okay? Is that good? Maybe not. But anyway, that's my style. So to the people who don't like that kind of thing, my books probably wouldn't be for them. If you're into the hot bath at the end of your book, not literally, of course, I'm not going to give you a bath, but you know, if you're into that sort of cozy, nice, oh, that's nice ending, you probably don't want to read my books. Although there is kind of that too, in a more twisted sort of way. I won't get into that now. Yeah, read them to find out. Anyway, what do you think? Do you always need that happily ever after ending? Is it necessary? Do we care too much about that? I don't know. What do you think? Let me know. Mima on fire.